Hello. And welcome to another episode of Hotel Room Yap with Michaela. Hello, this wonderful fur coat makes a return. Oh, hold on, I have to fix my tights. You're welcome for that beautiful display of adjustment. Hello, Zuko here. Just kidding. I gotta stop doing that. The jokes are getting old. Hello. From the Intercontinental in San Francisco. Here for Fan Expo. I just finished up my last day of cosplaying. And I know, I could have probably done this in cosplay, but I had to come change, go to dinner, so I didn't really have time. And I did not want to change back into the cosplay, because once the cosplay is off, the cosplay is off. Okay, we're not going to keep the hood on the whole time, because that's just going to be annoying. I gotta figure out how to, like, I have so many feelings at night. I get fixated. I'm so stuck on this person. Yeah. And the bummer thing is it's words. There weren't even actions for me to be stuck on. Like, I got something was so triggered in my brain by the words that this person used, and man, are they good at what they do. It's just I'm busy missing people I shouldn't. Again, we once again found ourselves here, missing people that we should not be missing. Goodness gracious. I'm back. I'm always paranoid that for some reason when I press record, I didn't press record and it's just me talking to hello? Okay, there we go. And it's just me talking to a phone, and then I'm going to get up after, 15, 20 minutes, whatever, and it's just going to have not recorded anything. That is my fear. I cannot get comfortable. I'm overstimulated right now. I feel like this is what happens. Oh my gosh, like the rings and the hair and the freaking outfit, and I'm just like, everything is everything right now, and I'm struggling. Okay. I think we're good. I don't know how to not miss this person. And I miss an idea of them and a concept of them. I don't even miss them. And I know, and see, this is what's so exhausting about this and exhausting about myself. We've talked about this. I've talked about this with my friends. I've talked about this with my mom. I should be over this person. This was a year of talking on and off, meaning we would talk for maybe a day or a couple hours and then not talk for months and then talk for a couple hours. And then in person, it was 3 weeks. 3 weeks of it being good, whatever. And then 2 weeks of it being pretty shitty and him being pretty mean, actually. Not actively mean, but he was just absent. He just pulled away, kind of did the ghosty thing. Weird. I wasn't my best. I'm aware of that. And that's what I think is the struggle for me, is me being man, if I met that person now, I feel like I would have handled it differently, and I just wonder if it would have just turned out better. I don't know. I'm just beating myself up over this, and it's frustrating because he's very visibly moved on with multiple women, immediately after we stopped talking. There's, comments and likes on some other person's page, and then that goes back and forth for a few weeks, and then that person dies off. And by the way, many of us keep track of this. They then stop following each other. I'm oh, so that fell out. Okay. And then it happens with another girl. And then stuff happens and he stops following her. And so I'm oh, they fell out. So it's this cycle. And I'm just wow, was I really just that freaking stupid, vulnerable, deceivable, gullible, whatever, romantic, dumb? I don't fucking know. That do you play this exact same script on every single person because you need the attention and the intimacy, and then you get it, and then it comes time for you to actually act on it, and as soon as you're called to actually act on it, you freaking peace out and move on to the next person? Was none of it genuine, or was all of it genuine and you're just too either lazy or terrified to actually follow it up? But does it even matter if it's genuine if you can't follow it up? If the feelings are genuine but you can't follow it up, does that even mean the feelings are genuine? And why am I thinking about this? There's so many people in the world. My husband would never treat me like this. My husband would never question this. Like me. And showing up for me and wanting to make my life easier and be there for me. And he would want the best for me. And he would be secure in himself. We're all gonna have insecure things, duh. But like, yeah. And so why is my body so triggered by this person? I don't know. I mean, I think some of it is ego, right? The not being chosen thing, which I think was part of the issue of what triggered him initially. Because I think both of us this summer really needed to feel chosen. Because we were at a point where both of us were a little insecure for different reasons. But I think the reason why the couple of weeks were so like, oh my gosh, is because both of us really like wanted to be picked. We wanted to be the favorite, chosen. Maybe this was wrong. I don't know. I'm just shooting the shit. Who knows? But yeah, it kind of felt like maybe there was a little bit of that going on. And so I'm like, maybe that just triggered. Definitely something got triggered. My anxiety, like my cortisol, just like spiked as soon as I met this person. The texting back and forth was insane. The amount of times we saw each other in a week was insane. Like I mentioned before, like FaceTimed his family. Like it was just, and like that is crazy. And like right now, if I were to meet somebody, like I could have a massive crush on them, but like I wouldn't function the same way at all. And so I'm like, okay, would that have even happened if I would have met him now? Would it have just happened different? Like I just don't. I mean, I also kind of, I probably did it like a bit too much at the beginning too. I kind of not forced, but I was just like, the first time that we met, I was like, you should just like come out and like come join like me and my friends. Like just come. Like I kind of pushed it instead of letting him. That was probably like my fault. I don't. Why am I still stuck on this, guys? Why? By the time you guys are watching this, it'll be in 2026 because I know how many of these I have. It's gonna be crazy when this comes out. So anyway, yeah, I'm really hoping, oh my gosh, when this comes out that I will have moved on. Oh my gosh, excuse me. And yeah, that I've moved on and I'll laugh and I'll giggle at whatever freaking malarkey this whole year was. What the hell was 2025? What the hell? What the hell? On multiple fronts, what the hell? What the heliante? What the heli? That trend will probably be very outdated by the time this comes out. Anyway, man, the fixation, the hyper romanticizing? I don't fucking know. There's more cursing in this one than usual. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, why? So stuck. I can't, like, flirt. I look at people and I'm like, oh, like, cool. I am stuck. So frustrating. It was really nice. I got a text from, again, someone who is far too young for me. But whatever, that aside, I got a nice text and is some guy who's like being a little flirty, and I was like, okay, whatever. But it was just like, oh, like, hope you're having a good day, blah, 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 something, you know, you too beautiful, he said to me. And I was like, and I like smiled and giggled a little. And then I was like, oh my gosh, thank God, because like there was no smiling and giggling happening. And that's then what, oh God, that's then what makes like the pain. See, like I'm still not okay. The pain come back because this guy like just started talking to other people and definitely was being flirty and definitely being giggly. I could not. I feel so dumb. I don't know. I couldn't. He had like I was, my heart was all there. And one of the things that like hurt his feelings was like this one guy that, which I've mentioned, when we talked about this, I feel like a few months ago now at this point, a guy that I was like meeting up with to just yap about industry, martial arts. We were maybe going to collab on a video, whatever. He ended up picking up dinner. We had a great talk. It was a little flirty at the end. He mentioned maybe seeing me again. And then I texted my girlfriends being like, I think it turned into a date. Like, I don't know. Might see him again, might not. I don't know. And I just remember like the day before he brought that up, there was a noticeable shift in his energy. Like my gut feeling, it just felt off. And I was like, what's happening? And then when he asked about it, I was like, oh. And I was like, does it hurt your feelings? He's like, well, yeah, like we've been hanging out. And that was a valid reaction. Like if I found out he like took another girl out on a date, I would have been like, what? What's going on? But I wouldn't have like fully just sprinted in the opposite direction. I would have been like, whoa, okay, what's going on? Which we then had that conversation. He's like, hey, like don't want to do this if you're like talking to other people. And I was like, that's valid. That's not like the plan. We had like this scheduled. I don't know. I didn't handle that well because I also in that moment could have been like, I was thinking of you the whole time, which I was, but I was terrified to like say that because I didn't want to freaking scare him off. And I could have also been like, I almost canceled it just in case like we could have hung out and then you told me to go. Like just also want to throw that out there. Like this was not like a planned, like I'm going on a dinner date with no, like that's, but I'm sure in his mind, especially because he's used to talking to so many women, I am now discovering at one time, he probably was like, oh my gosh, she does what I does. That she's probably talking to tons of guys. Like, I don't freaking know what happened anyway. But the point is we had a conversation where it was like, I don't really want to talk to anybody else. And like, I don't really want to do this if you're talking to somebody else. And I was like, I'm fine to just talk to you. Let's do that. Great. And he was like, well, I already mentioned that. I was like, well, we never had a full conversation. It's been 3 weeks. Granted, a very, very serious, like 3 weeks. But like, it's been 3 weeks. And like, I don't know, like when you say that, boys say things all the time. Case in point, boys say things all the time. And I never want to hurt you. And you mean the world to me and blah, 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 blah. And then it's just like bullshit. So I don't know. When you're like, I'm not talking to any other people. What the hell does that mean? You never even took me out to dinner. Even though you promised that you really wanted to take me out. And then that never happened. I feel stupid. Anyway. And the interesting thing is, by the way, is that the end goal was not hooking up. Like, in fact, he was like scared to touch me. We did not do anything. I mean, like we kissed, but like we didn't do anything. Like, you know what I mean? And so that's confusing because when people are like, oh, guys usually, like when they act like that, they just want one thing. And it's like, well, it felt like there was a lot of genuine feeling there. But so then I hate doing this though, because even if the reason is real, the actions are still shitty. So part of me, John, is he's never been in a long-term relationship. He hasn't left home, and didn't go to college. He had like a job back home, but like he didn't do the college route. And so I'm like, I probably hurt his feelings like really deeply and his ego. And he also just had like a massive ego trip because a lot of the stuff with his professional life was going well, like the week after that little thing happened. So then he was like, I don't need this. I don't need her, whatever. Like, I don't fucking know. Then he probably just didn't know how to like emotionally regulate. Like and then he got scared and it was like, this is too much work and I'm too stressed out and like, I've got all this great stuff going and like, I don't want to focus on this anymore. I don't know. There are some pretty serious conversations though. But then that's also trauma bonding when you like spill too much information too quickly. He also was probably rushing just intimacy just for the sake because he needed connection. I don't know. But like, again, why am I still stuck on this? Why am I searching for these answers? And why am I craving something that like didn't actually exist? There was no real support given from him. The energy and the support I was getting from him, I think was just a mirror of the support and like the love I was giving him. None of that was organically from him. So I guess like, does this just mean that like I'm craving myself? Like I'm craving a love that cares for me the way that I care about them? Probably. So then why am I fixated on this person. I'm just a romantic and I'm a little lonely and I just want to, yeah. I'm really trying to enjoy this single era. I get it. As soon as you're with your person and, you know, you have to rely on somebody else's schedule and emotions as well as your own, and you can't be as selfish because you're whatever. But like, being in true love feels like the greatest freedom ever, because you now have a partner and a best friend that you have decided to like navigate life through with, keep each other accountable, love each other through your changes, be honest, be supportive, be angry and annoyed, but then keep coming back to each other. And that, like, because you want to. And because you are choosing to. Because there is literally, I don't think there's anything more priceless and like valuable than a connection and like a love that you choose to cultivate like for your whole life. That sounds awesome. And having somebody that you love to celebrate and celebrate with, the first person you want to call when something exciting happens, the first person who you want to hear from when something exciting happens to them, and like, I'm really trying to enjoy, you know, the really cool stuff that's happening in life, and being single, and you know, I can do whatever I want, and I can travel whenever I want, and I don't have any strings attached, and that's great. But I also just love loving people, and that's unfortunately why I think I have chosen some incorrect choices along the way, because I just went, oh, this part's good. Whoa, I don't really know about these things, but maybe if I just focus on these things more, they'll kind of outweigh these other things. Like I've definitely done that. So yeah. Anyway, that's probably why I've dated some wrong people in the past, because I just got too excited. It's interesting because I feel like I like need a second to like recognize all the times I just did all like too much legwork to make up for somebody's shortcomings instead of just watching their actions. I truly, like, it's back to, I've said this before, but I'm like, man, I wonder if any of these people actually loved me. Like, really. I think a couple did. For sure. I think a couple did actually more than they thought they did. And that's annoying because during, I feel like they are like, yeah, like, love you and blah, blah, blah. And then they, like, afterwards, I think they realized just how much they cared. And I was like, yeah, well, I was waiting for you to show up and act on that. Do something about it. But anyway, I don't know. It's tough. I think just growing up in general is tough. Growing up and dating, you changing, other people changing. Everybody's trying to like learn and figure out themselves. I had a point that I was going to say right after that and I forget what I was going to say. But anyway, no, yeah, I'm being a little dramatic. I've had multiple people that I know have absolutely cared about me. And this particular recent instance was just like a blow to like my ego and my sanity. And this person brought a lot of what I was lacking in like the previous relationship. And so it was like a reminder of all these things that I actually really love and appreciate. And it felt like I'd been starved of for a while. Yeah. And so then when that got taken away, after I was already kind of being deprived of it, it felt like it was just like double stab to the chest, triple stab to the chest this year. Yeah. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, or if it just is. Maybe it's not even weighted in any direction. It just is having lots of feelings and feeling very deeply. The last couple of days, I know this is so stupid, but like for some reason, like my chest was like aching. Like my sternum and like some of like my ribs were just like aching. And no, not from working out. And no, I didn't like slam my chest in anything. I've just been there've been some moments of longing and sadness. And it like, my chest was sore. And I was like, oh my gosh. I remember after my high school relationship ended, that was the first time I got like my heart truly broken, because I wasn't expecting it to end, and then it did, and I remember driving back in my mom's Toyota Corolla, and I was leaning on like the passenger side window, like I had my arm, and I just remember like feeling like my heart in my chest, and it felt like heavy and sore, like my heart hurt, and I was shocked. I was like, wait, what? I was like, this is crazy, and it felt so thick. I don't know how else to explain it, but it just like, it was so thick and like dense. It was just like this dense like pain. Like my heart was actively aching. And oh, is it a ghost? Are you agreeing with me? What's happening? I don't know. Oh, that light just turned on. What's going on? Anyway, see how powerful heartbreak is? Yeah, so anyway, I just remember that feeling, and I was like, holy moly, like this is literally physical heartbreak. That's crazy. And oddly enough, I have not felt that since then, and my chest, my sternum, I don't know. All of a sudden, like some of the physical things are kind of back. It's not my heart, but it's like my ribs and my sternum, like physically are sore. Like these little pangs are like coming. It's very strange. I don't know. I'm just kind of letting things like flow in and out, and I'm just hoping that I'm going to arrive at some essence of clarity at some point in the near future of like what's going on. And I'm not necessarily going to have an exact answer, but at least I will feel hopefully lighter, more open. What are we doing? We're just blinking on and off. Okay. Yeah, I miss that kid that I met in freaking July. I know, I'm almost done. He was so sweet and excited. We talked about so many fun things and family, and it felt very normal and chill. This light, I swear. Okay. Okay, I need to turn this. Okay. Yeah, relax. Oh my God. Freaking out. You good? We're gonna chill out now? Goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah, we talked about like, kids and family, and it wasn't like, what are we naming our kids? No, but it was just like, yeah, like I really want to have a family, and like, but see, all of this could have been just a mirror of me. What thoughts and what questions and what plans were originally his that weren't a mirror of me? Was I just freaking falling for myself? Like, I don't think so. No, because when I was like, oh, like, where do you want to live? And he was like, oh, no, like, we'd live in New Zealand. And I was like, oh, why? And then, like, he explained why he loves New Zealand. I don't know. The whole thing is stupid. I really got to get over myself here. But I don't know. That was, unfortunately, when I walked in, and it was overwhelming. And I was like, I need to spill. I gotta spill my guts a little. I just want it. Like, I want it out, but I don't want it out, because, like, that's what it should feel like. Not like the frantic, crazy, not the anxiety stuff, not how I handled some things, and not, I was definitely a little bit frantic. But that, like, the connection feeling, and just the wanting to hang out with them all the time. And I don't know, that was the interesting thing too, is like he very much but see, words are easy. He was like, oh my gosh, I want to take you to this award show. I'd love to fly you out, and blah, blah, blah. And one day we'll do this. And like, oh, we'd like live it. Like, all these words are very easy to say. But his schedule was crazy. Like, he was in a country he's not used to being in, literally at the helm of like a very huge step in his career. He was actively, truly busy. Like, I know for a fact. And so I it's so complicated. Timing was a mess. I just wish that I wasn't so fixated on it. And I don't know why I'm so fixated on it. Because once again, my husband would not. Saying that out loud is sad still for me. because out of self-respect, he can't be my husband. Not with his actions, the way that they've been, and how he has treated me. And I'm like, okay, well, can I even be friends with him? Can you be friends? It was very short-lived, but it clearly was very impactful. It's been months. Silly woman am I. And I gotta get up early. I gotta pack. I'm supposed to film something with somebody tomorrow morning. And on that note, yeah, sorry if this was kind of annoying and boring, and like you guys have already heard this if you've been watching for a while. So I feel a little silly. I feel like I was very stagnant and not particularly fun this episode. I was just kind of sitting here having lots of feelings. But yeah, I just miss, I think I just projected a lot of stuff onto him, onto it, the situation. I wanted it to be something more than it was. And not that it couldn't have been that, but like I just have such high expectations. And people are like, don't assume anything and you won't be disappointed. And I'm like, well, sorry, that's not how I'm going to work. Because I have high expectations for myself. And I often get pretty close to meeting them. So yeah, I'm going to have some high expectations for my freaking partner who could potentially be with me for the rest of my life and raising my children and being my family. My family. Anyway, I'll let you go. I'll stop yapping your ear off. Well, even though that is the whole point of this video. If you made it this far, it's very impressive. Okay, I'm gonna go. I am maybe gonna listen to some music, wash my face, clean off this bed. It's kind of messy right now. And take off this coat, which is a bummer though. I love this coat. I never want to take off this coat. I love the coat. Okay, thank you for joining for this episode of Hotel Room Yap. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully you have a lovely day or night or morning, wherever you are. I don't know why I've switched to an accent. Clearly I'm a bit tired. Yes, I will see you guys next time. Okay, goodbye, good night, toodaloo, cheerio, tut tut.